Hi, welcome to Level and Fly tutorial for the interview section of the ICAO English Proficiency Test. This section evaluates the pilot's and controller's ability to communicate their ideas clearly by answering to questions focused on the present, the past, and the future. Allow me to explain. The questions asked by the evaluator will be chosen carefully for the pilots to answer using the three main tenses of the English language: present, past, and future. The questions may be about professional issues, such as airplane performance, instruments, airport security, control tower, etc. But they also may be on personal matters, as long as they are related to aviation. For example, how long have you been a controller? Does your schedule affect your personal life? How did your family react when you decided to be a pilot? Or, what are your plans for retirement? When answering the questions, avoid the use of phraseology. This will be evaluated in a different exam called ATP. In this section, however, if words proper to aviation are used, these should be explained. For example,
among other instruments inside the cockpit, we can find the TCAS. TCAS stands for Traffic Collision Avoiding System, and it is used to prevent a crash in the air.
Remember, the objective is to use plain, normal English. The question can be about different topics, not only about the plane. The set is presented in order to evaluate the proper use of the present, the past, and the future tense. There will be 3 questions. It is for the pilot to answer them as complete as possible. Maintain focus on the tense of the question in order to answer it correctly. Give a full answer, stating your agreement or disagreement and supporting it with strong ideas. Pay attention to the timeline when referring to the past. The more vocabulary you use adds up to your score. The pilot is prompted to use connectors, and remember that fluency does not mean to speak fast, but to speak coherently. For you to have a better idea on how this part of the exam is taken, please watch. First, you will see an example of a question in the past tense. Here, the student gives a rather incomplete answer.
So tell me, how did you decide to become a pilot?
I always liked to be a pilot. When I was a child, I lived near the airport and saw the planes. When I finished school, I studied in Coyique and then for an airline.
As you can see, this is a broken answer, with long pauses and limited vocabulary. There is not a clear connection between the sentences, lacking of fluency and structure. Besides, the interaction between evaluator and student shows a difficulty in understanding the question. In this next example, you will see the evaluator asking the same question, now with a complete answer.
So tell me, how did you decide to become a pilot?
Well, I always liked to be a pilot. When I was a child, I used to live nearby an airfield, and I could spend hours watching those planes take off and land. That's how I got interested in aviation. Later on, after I graduated from high school, I applied to Coyique Aviation School, where I completed my studies. Although I received different offers, I have been working for the same airline for the last 6 years.
In this answer, the pilot shows a comfortable interaction with the evaluator, ready to answer the question. He connects the sentences properly and shows a very strong timeline. At Level and Fly, we want our pilots and air traffic controllers to reach the top level in order to achieve their flying goals. Our course is divided in 12 different chapters that cover all the vocabulary, structure knowledge, and fluency tips needed for the ICAO English Proficiency Test. All this complemented with online conversation classes. We know that practice helps build confidence and speed as you talk. Therefore, interaction, pronunciation, and comprehension are guaranteed. No more excuses to postpone it. You don't even need to be here to take your classes. If you're on call, you can still be in class from home. So come, reach your level and fly.